All right, let's dive in. This week's sources are all about what's new and next in tech.
Yeah, some pretty wild stuff.
From the latest AI shakeups to business strategies that sound a bit crazy at first.
Definitely breaking the mold with some of these.
We've got insider info on OpenAI, Apple's top secret projects,
Oh yeah, those are always juicy.
TikTok's fight to survive in the US, and even a glimpse into Shopify's 100-year plan.
That's some serious long-term thinking.
So, ready to get started?
Absolutely, let's go.
Okay, so first up, OpenAI. Lots happening over there.
Always something with them.
Their former CTO, Mira Murati, she's building a new team.
Interesting.
Greg Brockman's back in the mix, and get this, ChatGPT's usage is exploding.
I saw that. It's insane.
It could even be on track to rival Google Chrome in terms of how many people use it.
Wow, think about what that means, though.
Yeah, I mean,
With ChatGPT's becoming as common as Chrome, that's AI becoming an everyday tool for millions of people.
it really changes the game for, well,
Yeah.
everything. The way we work, learn, even how we create.
No doubt, it's a huge shift.
And speaking of creating, OpenAI is about to launch AI agents.
Oh yeah, those are going to be interesting.
These agents are designed to actually do tasks for us.
Task automation on a whole new level.
I'm picturing emails that write themselves, calendars that manage everything automatically.
Well, it might not be quite that seamless, but AI agents have the potential to free up a lot of time and energy.
For sure. Imagine having an agent that sifts through tons of data to find exactly what you need.
Or handling all those tedious online tasks we all hate.
Right, like booking appointments, managing
But-
subscriptions.
Exactly. It could be a huge boost to productivity.
Okay, now I'm both excited and a little scared.
Yeah, it's a powerful technology. Got to be careful with it.
But let's move on to Apple for now before we go too far down the rabbit hole.
Sounds good. What do they got cooking?
Well, rumor has it they're developing an AI-powered wall tablet.
A wall tablet, like mounted on the wall.
That's the idea. It'll have Siri integration, home control features, even video calls.
Wow, that's ambitious.
And they're apparently aiming for a March release.
That's not far off. If they pull it off, they could really shake up the smart home market.
Right. They're known for creating sleek, integrated experiences, so.
Yeah, imagine this tablet becoming the central hub for your entire digital life.
Controlling everything from your lights to your music, seamlessly connecting with all your other Apple devices.
It's a bold move, especially considering they're also making overtures to Android users.
That's right. They're letting Android folks react to iMessages now.
Seems like they're trying to have it both ways, expand their reach while still maintaining that Apple exclusivity.
It's a delicate balance to strike.
Definitely. But while Apple's trying to build its empire, Amazon's making some power plays of its own.
Oh yeah, they're going all in on AI, even ditching NVIDIA to make their own AI chips.
Bold move, but they've got the resources to do it.
And on top of that, they're launching discount stores.
Like brick and mortar stores.
Yeah, taking on those ultra-cheap online retailers like Temu and Shein head on.
So what's their game plan here? It seems like they're trying to do everything at once.
Well, they're not just an online store anymore. They're building an entire ecosystem.
Right. With their own chips, they control the tech behind their cloud services, AWS.
And that gives them a huge advantage.
Imagine them offering super fast AI-powered features at rock-bottom prices. Hard to compete with that.
It's like they're creating their own walled garden for the entire internet.
In a way, yeah. And then there's TikTok, trying to stay afloat with a possible US ban looming.
The tough spot to be in.
Definitely, TikTok's huge, a cultural phenomenon, but there are concerns about data security and Chinese government influence.
And those concerns have put them in the hot seat.
So what are they doing about it?
They're getting cozy with Lemonade, another app from ByteDance.
Like a backup plan.
Exactly. If TikTok gets banned, they'll try to shift users over to Lemonade.
Smart move. Shows how high the stakes are.
It's a reminder that even the biggest tech companies aren't invincible.
No, they're all vulnerable in their own ways.
But let's shift gears a bit and talk about those long-form articles and podcasts you sent over.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff in there.
That Shopify podcast in particular caught my eye.
Oh, they've got some pretty unconventional ideas about growth.
Forget KPIs and chasing every last customer.
They're playing the long game, thinking in terms of decades, not quarters.
And they've got this radical idea about embracing churn, which just sounds crazy to me.
I know, right? Most companies freak out when customers leave.
But Shopify seems to see it as just part of the process.
That's what makes them so fascinating. They're not afraid to challenge conventional wisdom, and it's working for them.
Okay, I'm hooked. Let's unpack their key principles and figure out how they do it.
All right, let's dive in.
Okay, so Shopify, ditching KPIs, embracing churn.
Yeah, sounds a bit backwards, right?
It really does. How do they pull it off?
Well, it all comes down to their long-term vision.
Right. They're all about building a company that can adapt and thrive for the long haul.
Exactly. And that means prioritizing a few key things.
Like what?
A fantastic product, first and foremost.
Makes sense.
A strong company culture where people feel valued and empowered.
Oh, that's so important.
And most importantly, a willingness to embrace change.
So, not being afraid to try new things, even if they seem risky.
Exactly. They're not just thinking about next quarter's earnings report.
They're thinking way beyond that.
Their vision is measured in decades, not months.
It's a whole different mindset.
Absolutely. And that's what allows them to embrace churn.
That's the part I still don't quite get.
Right. Most companies panic when customers leave.
It's all about customer retention, reducing churn at all costs.
But Shopify sees it differently. They recognize that not every customer is going to be a perfect fit.
So they're not afraid to let go of customers who aren't a good match.
Exactly. They make it easy to get started, knowing that some people will inevitably move on.
It's like they're casting a wide net.
Right. And they're focusing their energy on the customers who show real potential.
The ones who are in it for the long haul.
Exactly. The ones who are building businesses that will last.
Okay, I'm starting to see the logic, but how do you even plan for 100 years from now?
It's less about specific plans and more about a mindset.
So not a detailed roadmap, but a guiding philosophy.
Exactly. They're building a company that they believe will be around for generations.
Wow, that's ambitious.
And that means focusing on fundamental principles.
Like creating a great product, fostering a strong culture.
Being adaptable to change, those are the things that will stand the test of time.
It's like they're running these long-term experiments.
Yeah, they measure the impact of changes over years, not months.
So they can see what truly works over the long term.
Exactly. It's about patience, not instant gratification.
Most companies want results right away.
But this long-term thinking gives Shopify a huge advantage.
They're not chasing fads or reacting to every little market fluctuation,
They make decisions based on what's best for the long-term health of the company.
which can be hard to do when everyone else is focused on the short term.
It takes discipline, but it pays off in the end.
And it's not just about time frames. They also have a unique approach to metrics.
Oh yeah, they prioritize absolute numbers over conversion rates.
So not just percentages, but the actual number of users achieving a goal,
Exactly. It keeps their teams focused on the big picture.
instead of getting bogged down and optimizing every tiny step,
They're thinking about the overall user experience and the total impact on the business.
which ultimately leads to better results.
Absolutely. It's a more holistic approach.
It also sounds like they really value intuition and good taste,
They trust their teams to make decisions based on what feels right.
not just relying on data alone.
Data is important, but it's not everything.
They believe in the power of creativity and a shared understanding of what makes a great product.
And that comes through in everything they do, even their sales process.
Right, they offer these hybrid journeys,
Where customers can switch between self-service and talking to a salesperson.
depending on their needs at that moment,
Exactly. It's about meeting customers where they are.
not forcing them down a specific path.
And their team structure reflects that.
They have teams dedicated to attracting new customers, empowering existing ones.
And providing support when needed, all working together seamlessly.
It's like a well-oiled machine, all the parts working in harmony.
That's a great way to put it.
So Shopify's vision, values, strategies, it all fits together.
To create this unique approach to growth.
Okay, I'm getting it now, but let's zoom out for a second.
Sure. Where do you want to go?
What are the bigger implications of all these tech trends we've been talking about?
Well, one thing's for sure, technology is advancing at an incredible pace.
It's hard to keep up.
From AI to new devices and platforms, it's a constant stream of innovation.
It's both exciting and a little overwhelming.
Definitely. But that's where the growth mindset comes in.
So being open to new ideas, willing to learn and adapt.
Exactly. We need to see challenges as opportunities, not threats.
And remember that technology is a tool
It's up to us to use it responsibly.
for the benefit of everyone.
Absolutely. And speaking of responsibility,
Yeah.
remember those time-saving AI tools we talked about earlier?
Oh yeah, those are cool.
That's a perfect example of technology's potential to free us up.
To focus on more meaningful work.
Exactly. And there are so many other tools out there that can help us be more productive.
Okay, let's talk about those. I'm still buzzing about how much potential they have.
All right, let's dive back in.
So many cool tools out there, it's hard to pick favorites.
I know, right? Like Choppity, the one that makes video editing as simple as editing text.
That's a game changer for anyone who's ever struggled with those complicated video editing programs.
It really is, and it's a great example of how AI is making these once complex tasks accessible to everyone.
Democratizing technology, that's a good thing.
Definitely, and it's not just video editing.
Right, there's Path Pilot for analyzing customer journeys, making sure everything runs smoothly.
And Agree for streamlining contracts and invoices, no more headaches with paperwork.
Then there's Sona, which pulls insights from conversations like meetings or customer interviews.
Super useful for understanding what people are really saying and thinking.
And Focus Buddy helps you stay on track, keeps you from getting distracted.
A lifesaver for those of us with short attention spans.
And of course, Rival Sense helps you keep an eye on the competition, see what they're up to.
So many great tools. It's like having a whole team of AI assistants working for you.
Around the clock, making sure everything's running smoothly.
But with all this talk about AI and automation,
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
is there a risk we become too reliant on these tools?
That's a good question. I mean, they're powerful, but
They're still just tools, right?
exactly, it's up to us to use them wisely.
Not let them replace our own judgment and decision-making abilities.
We need to stay in control, make sure we're not just blindly following the algorithms.
Absolutely. Technology should enhance our skills, not replace them entirely.
So are these time-saving tools all hype, or can they actually make us more productive?
I think it's a bit of both.
Some are truly valuable, while others might be more style than substance.
It's important to be selective. Choose the tools that fit your needs and your way of working.
Don't just jump on the bandwagon because something's trendy.
Right. Figure out what works for you, what helps you achieve your goals.
And speaking of goals, I keep thinking back to Shopify's 100-year vision.
Yeah, that's some serious long-term thinking.
It's a reminder that real success comes from focusing on the long game.
Building something with lasting value.
So even if we're not running billion-dollar companies,
We can still apply those principles to our own lives and work.
thinking beyond immediate gratification, considering the impact we want to make,
Having a vision, setting goals, and making choices that align with those goals.
it's about building something that will outlast us, that will make a difference in the world.
That's a powerful idea.
And it brings us to our final thought for this deep dive.
What's that?
If a company like Shopify can embrace churn, ditch KPIs, and prioritize intuition,
And still be incredibly successful.
what other unconventional approaches could lead to breakthroughs in your own life or work?
The challenge, right?
To question the status quo, to experiment, to trust your gut.
But sometimes those unconventional approaches lead to the most amazing outcomes.
So be bold, be curious, don't
And-
be afraid to challenge the way things are done.
That's how real innovation happens.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive.
We covered a lot of ground today.
From AI's latest moves to some truly outside-the-box business strategies.
We hope you learned something new, got some inspiration for your own endeavors.
The tech landscape is always changing, but with a growth mindset and a thirst for knowledge.
You can navigate these changes and thrive in this exciting, ever-evolving world.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.